welcome back. Just really made it. I think I made a decision to do a little bit more on these actor blueprints before moving into the more complex stuff. Um, I hope we're not. I'm not doubling up or anything on here, but I think there's a few things we need to cover about blueprints before we sort of go into more in-depth stuff. So I want to look at a few more things so that we understand the basics at least. So a few things I'm looking at doing in the next few videos is sort of adding some variables and interactivity so we can do things like set the color uh, and things like that, so we kind of understand how these work. So that's one of the first things I really want to do. If we have a look at our event graph, so at the moment we're doing intensity. Let's get rid of this one. I don't really care about that. And we had that one from last time. It won't make any difference because we're setting that in the construction script. What we can do, we can actually set the color in the construction script as well. Let's grab this one and let's go color. Of course it's an OR because it's an American thing. And you'll notice we've got new light color. If we click onto that, we can actually select a particular color. Fantastic. But let's just close that or cancel that. Is that what we want to do, or the other option would be to set it as a variable that we have access to in the blueprint? So what we can do is we can just drag off here and we can say promote to variable. So let's just do that, promote it to a variable. New light color, that's a fine name. Let's leave it as new light color. So that's this one here. And if we have a look at that and look on the, whoops, we don't want to change the name. Look on the right hand side of the details here, you'll see we've got a variable name, got a variable type, and this is a linear color. If we just quickly have a look at the different variables we have access to, you might find some of these familiar. So we've got boolean, byte, integer 64, float, name, string, text, vector, rotated, transform. And then we've got a whole lot of other things under here as well. So there's a whole lot of structures and objects that we can interface with as well. Float, probably the most commonly used ones in our variables. Float and boolean, very common, sometimes integer as well. But this is a linear color, and we'll have a look at what that does for us in a second. Other things, what else have we got there? That's all fine. I don't think we need to look at anything too much more there. We do have a default value, so let's compile. It says here, please compile the blueprint. Let's do that, compile. And we've got new light color. If I click on this, it's going to give me my color picker to select a default color. We can select anything, I guess. At the moment it is black. Yay. You ever seen a black light? They're not very bright. So look, let's select any particular color. I'm going to pink because I haven't selected pink. Bit of a trick here with the Unreal color picker. It always starts with the value. That's the brightness or the lightness down here. So make sure you just pop that up right up the top. And then we get a pink value. So we go, okay, no problem. And so we can see it. What I'm going to do is let's just get rid of that for a second. And then we compile. We can now see that in here. Okay, great. Save that. If we come back into here, we can see now all of these are pink. Yay. Okay, so that's fine. If we select one of them, at the moment, we actually have to go into here to change the color. and it doesn't work because we've set that to in our construction script. So it's overriding the color that we've set here. Wouldn't it be great if we could actually access this variable and set it in here? Well, that's exactly what we can do. To do that, all we need to do is come to our new light color, and you'll see there's a it's actually a closed eye. If I click on that once, it opens it up for me. Variable is public and is editable in each instance of this blueprint. And if I have a look on here, I have show me where the cursor is over it. So let's say enter light, oops, color, exclamation point. Compile. Now if we come back here and we select one of these, oh, hang on, what do I say? Select one of these. You'll see in our default, we have our new light color, enter light color. Can you see the text down there? And now, with any luck, and we go okay. Okay, and we've changed our light color. So that allows us to give our developers, our designers, whatever, a bit more flexibility there as well. Now maybe we want the same with the intensity. So let's go and do the same thing. Let's just save that. And we can change the intensity as well. So we can set this intensity. What we might have, so we were starting at off and on. So if we do this, we drag off here again, and we can promote that to a variable. Let's call this start intensity. And again, we can compile that. And let's make the start intensity 1. And then we might also have another intensity. So what I can do this time is I can come into here and I can duplicate that value. And we want to call it, let's say, I don't know, max intensity, maximum intensity. Get rid of that 0 from the end because I don't like that. And for this one, we'll say start intensity. And we'll say something like triggered intensity. Compile. And we can put in a default value of 1 for that one and default value of 8 for this one. So what we're going to have to do is just grab, let's do it manually so you can see me doing it. So we're setting the intensity here. We're already setting, so what we just want to do is grab this one, get max intensity, pop that in there. And we want start intensity. This is our minimum intensity. Get our start intensity. Pop that in there. So a little bit different. So now we can set our color. So that's our start intensity. We pop in, gets brighter, gets brighter. Same idea. And of course, what we can do is we can, we actually have already made those accessible. So maybe for this one, I want the maximum intensity. I might want this one to start off completely dark. I might want this one to start off at 1, but actually go to, say, 20. And maybe I want this one to start there and just go to 4. And maybe starting on 0.5. Cool. So let's see how that works. So the first one, completely off, turns on when we go in, turns off when we leave. Second one, like so. And the third one, like that. Okay, so we can see how we can actually just add some extra interactivity here, and allow, if we're creating this for someone else to use or even for ourselves to use, it gives us more control from within our blueprint. Cool. So what we might do next is actually have a look at how we can change the way we interact with it, and make it a little bit more, give the player a little bit more control.